Hey, you're watching America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. If you're having the shakes, if you can't sleep properly, you're getting all jittery, listen to our podcast, it'll knock you right out. So I'm Mark Rodriguez here, and with me are...
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
Oh, good set up there.
Yep. Got my little world title back here.
There we go.
Camera there. There we go.
There we go.
The doctor has his title. So, yeah. This is Jupy Channel, so Ninja Jupy. You can call me Wendy, whatever my name is, whatever. I don't care. But anyway, I'm rocking the Jupy shirt. I love it and I squeal. And thank you to the doctor. But we're going to turn it over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that was just to say it was raining where he was the other day.
Johnny Rodriguez.
There we go. I also got the Feel Fury shirt. There we go. Got all them sits. Yep. And of course, we're going to celebrate with some post-holiday cheer. We're already past the New Year's here.
Yeah, so we're out of my batch that I made, and we just got it in the bottle.
Yep. So we're going to be talking about AEW World's End, our thoughts and everything. But like we always do, if there's any news on wrestling, there's one event that happened on Dynamite, but we'll get there when we get there.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to remind me because I don't remember.
Oh, really? That's a big one.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Jack, any news in the world of wrestling? Except, of course, the big thing that Cena finally did retire. What was his last match with? That was Gunther, wasn't it?
Gunther, and he made him tap out.
That's what it was.
And it was the way he tapped out when everyone went crazy because he smiled, tapped, and people didn't get what that was. It was essentially an Obi-Wan Kenobi moment. Him sacrificing, that thing. So, funny enough, I brought this up to people that even though Sting and Great Muta were the ones who kind of started the whole, downfall of people retiring, Cena was the one who was like, made it okay for other wrestlers to, oh, that's cool. Who made it okay for other wrestlers to retire. So now, after he's retired, we already know AJ Styles is going to retire. Bryan Danielson's pretty much retired. Tomorrow, in honor of Wrestle Kingdom 20, Tanahashi's final match ever, he's also retiring tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the main event against Kazuchika Okada, not for a title, but for honor. His greatest rival, the man who has been at the first Wrestle Kingdom and now ends his career at Wrestle Kingdom 20. Then also today was announced both Mercedes Martinez, who has been on the independent circuit for 24 years, is retiring. She's retiring. Yeah.
Has she been in Ring of Honor at least for the last couple of months, or she just...
she's retiring. Yeah, she's retiring this year. Again, like I said, AJ Styles is retiring this year. Tanahashi. Mercedes Martinez, Madison Rayne just announced her retirement.
Oh, so much for that.
And there's a lot of people. It's like a domino effect. People are starting to. So what Cena basically, his retirement allowed for other people to retire because it's no longer just a game of you either, go out on your own and, just keep trying to. Like we've seen how many fogies from the 80s just keep coming back and be like, I could still go. It's like, stop.
Ric Flair.
Yeah. Ric Flair, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like, it's like, remember me? No. All righty.
Damn, stop. Don't know about their wrestling heroes.
I'm like, but now I'm like, they're actually allowed to retire, which I like because it's like, yeah, they should be able to retire and tell their stories and do their things. And that's cool to me. I mean, granted, Cena was kind of on the last run of his career the last 2 years because, he wasn't full time, but still. But seeing like other wrestlers being like, hey, it's cool to let go. But I'm starting to see the shift of the old guard who are leaving. And they're retiring soon. Oh, also, JDC, aka Fandango, is retiring due to health reasons as well. And he retired, and then Ash by Elegance, aka Dana Brooke, had to retire due to health reasons. So
Dana Brooke.
yeah, but that's undisclosed health reasons. But it's kind of crazy because it's like how many people I see that I've seen their careers and just kind of like bye. It's like
Tomorrow
it's harsh.
Story.
But then you see guys that could still keep going, but then other people who's like, you know what? It's not a matter of can you keep going, it's a matter of should you keep going. Like Liger implemented that too. He said, I don't have to keep going. I could, but I don't want to. And then but then on the flip side, you see a guy like Rey Mysterio, who's already in the Hall of Fame and should be retired, but he won't. So you're like, why are you still here?
I can still go for one more match. Woo!
I'm like, aren't your kneecaps like gelatin at this point?
I've been thinking about them.
But this past couple days, it went from Stardom's Dream Queendom, which was their biggest show, to tomorrow Wrestle King. Tonight, at the time of recording this, is Marigold's biggest show, First Dream. Then tomorrow is Wrestle Kingdom 20, and yeah, so there's a lot of great like Japanese wrestling for people to watch. It's the biggest time of the year to get started into Japanese pro wrestling, and yeah, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped for Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm curious how. There's also a big controversy involving Yota Tsuji, who's going to be fighting Konosuke Takeshita for the IWGP World Title and Global Titles unifying match. So. And yeah, apparently Tony Khan got really, really fucking pissed at his comments.
Oh, what comments were those?
I missed that.
So he had an interview with Tokyo Sports, and they asked him first about his excitement towards the match itself. And he said, I should be excited, but I'm not. Because we basically have a person who is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which is an honor that anyone in this company wants to be, the top champion. And instead, he's the second string fiddle in a promotion that doesn't give a damn about the belt. And he basically said that, and he started going at that, how he went on a tangent about how AEW's relationship has worsened, has made New Japan look weaker than it is.
Yeah, I did. I read it. You did post that.
Everything, it's great.
And he literally said, what has the company AEW done for New Japan's partnership? And the answer is nothing. It's made us look weak. It's made us look terrible. You have a guy who is our top champion, and he's barely they never talk about our title. They never talk about our company. They never promote us. Our biggest show is this week, and they have not mentioned it once on their programming.
That's kind of like what I said about Mercedes with all the titles she had. They don't seem to really like point out, like maybe the lesser known belts, maybe not as much, but at least the bigger ones that she's representing, so they should be promoting the company that she got those belts from. Because I was saying that about her. I was like, okay, she got a belt. What's the big deal?
It's the same thing that happened. Like he said it straight up, and like everyone's like, at first the reports were like, oh, he was in character, and then they went, no, he wasn't. He was dead serious. He was talking to Tokyo Sports. He wasn't kidding. He wasn't in character. He was straight up saying like how he literally said, I fought and clawed my way out of the Young Lions program to even get a shot at the world title. This guy comes from another company because he couldn't make it here, which is true. Konosuke Takeshita could never get signed with New Japan until after he signed with AEW. And basically shoehorned his way into getting into a tournament, to winning the belt. And then he has the championship, and they don't give a shit that he has it. And I'm like, is he lying though? So now everyone is seeing the match between Yota Tsuji and Konosuke Takeshita. All the New Japan fans like myself are not seeing it as a matter of, oh, it's a belt unification match. We're seeing it as it's a battle for New Japan's soul. Like them getting it back from AEW, which is what it should be.
Oh, wow.
Out of curiosity, since this is going to be Tanahashi's final match between, against Okada, who do you think would have the better chance at winning that? I mean, it seems like it would be nice to have Tanahashi, leave out on a good,
On a
but
win.
on a win. But like I said, I don't know the full extent of their rivalry, so that makes me wonder how would they play that out. But since Tanahashi is retiring, so it would make sense for Tanahashi to get the win.
So, little bit of history with Tana and Okada. Their history is so deep, but it started when they were young. When Okada was a young lion, and he came back out of excursion and debuted in New Japan as the Rainmaker with Gato. And at the time, Tanahashi was the world champion. He had this title. And he showed up and he challenged Tanahashi for his first ever match for the world title. Tanahashi, being the top guy, laughed it off, but he said, "Fine, kid, sure." And then Okada said, "You'll feel the wrath of the Rainmaker," did the first time you ever see the pose. And then Tana, making fun of him, went like that. Cut to the pay-per-view that they actually fought. And it is in New Japan history known as the Okada Shock. What that means is when a person debuts in their first ever match, not as a young lion, as a professional wrestler, for a title and wins the title. So on Okada's debut match, he fought Tanahashi for the top prize and beat him. And it shocked everybody. So from that point on, it's always been a matter of who is the real, heart of New Japan. You have Okada, who represents everything you would want a champion to be, a professional wrestler, an athlete, and all of that, a title holder. But then you have Tanahashi, who represents the people, who represents everything they stand for. He's like iron will. He has no give. He's always fought. Their careers have been so intertwined, but their win-loss record has always favored Okada. Okada has, I think they fought 20 something times. And I think in that time, 16 of those have been Okada winning. So it's not very often that Tana beats him. Despite their long rivalry, he hasn't beaten him that many times. Mm-hmm. But at this juncture, Tanahashi isn't the same as he was. But better or for worse, neither is Okada.
No,
the Okada that's in AEW is nowhere near the Rainmaker of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
AEW Okada is on vacation.
Yes. So it's truly a matter of a man on his last limbs versus a man who's been coasting. And truthfully, I think in that edge, I would still give it to Tanahashi because he's more consistent. But I think because the fact that they're making that match the main event, despite it not being for a belt and not being for anything other than honor, and they're making the entire show, they sold out the Tokyo Dome within 10 minutes because of them making the announcement that the final match of Tanahashi is going to be there. And it's going to be simulcasted all over the world. They even are going to broadcast it at various places in Japan at in sports arenas because it's that big a deal. So I'm like, to say he's not important in New Japan is crazy.
I kind of wish I was kind of around for that. But here's the thing that's interesting. When I first went to Japan, my very first time, and one of my students I used to hang out with, he would come over to my place and he was trying to set up my TV so I could watch Japanese wrestling programs. So that was nice. So that was my first thing knowing about stuff like New Japan and all that stuff. But with my work hours, I still didn't watch very much.
You probably got a bunch of A's.
Well, he was an adult, so yeah.
But what if you look up Tanahashi's career? It's crazy. Even when he was a young lion, before he became famous, he was dating a Japanese news anchor, and I mean, you got to look at young Tanahashi. He was a really, really ridiculously good-looking dude, like practically a male model to that level. But when he was a young lion, he was dating a famous Japanese news anchor, and at the time he broke up with, like, they were living together at the time as him and a young lion, and he said he wanted to break up the relationship because because he had to focus on wrestling and he didn't feel it was fair to her to wait for him, and so this is a real story, it was all over the newspapers. She waited for him to take a shower and stabbed him 4 times in the neck. Yeah. And he ran out of the apartment covered in blood, and she got arrested. And then everyone said on the newspaper, it says, "Wrestler so hot, girlfriend wanted him dead." Like, it was like all over. It was so
that ended the relationship. Oh,
yeah.
I'm
like, you could have just left a note, but okay, yandere out of the blue, sure, whatever.
That sounds like
But
the
yeah,
kind of story they would publish in the Inquirer.
but it was a real story. It is a real story. He got stabbed. Yeah, not the neck, not in the neck, but here, I'll show you on the little doll. It was like
she
right,
worked herself into a shoe.
like right there, like right on the neckline. Yeah, and he got rushed to the hospital.
Stiff, huh?
Yeah, and as he got pulled, this is a true story. And as he got taken to the hospital, famously, Togi Makabe, who was the world champion at the time in New Japan, he rushed to the hospital with a bunch of the trainees, and he as he's got the oxygen tank, Tanahashi's like, "I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to be able to come into class tomorrow."
See, I would only expect that in like some anime or manga.
It sounds like an anime, but it's a true fucking story. And then from that day on, his nickname became Iron Will Ace. And famously, he also had a you could see it on the little thing. His left arm, he always had this sleeve on because his left arm, this whole muscle ripped off the bone completely. And for 2 years, he never had surgery on it because he didn't want to disappoint the fans and not show up to work. But then the pandemic happened. He goes, "I guess I'll get the surgery now." And he just had it. He literally had it held together with duct tape and a ribbon over his arm. And everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why?" And they're like,
stereotype,
like,
but Japan.
Or when I met him, because yes, he did sign my belt. Yay! When he signed my belt, I said, I said to him, "Would you mind?" I had his translator say to him, "Would you mind?" I said, "This is your." He's like, he literally said, "Oh, Okada's belt." I'm like, no, your belt. And then he started smiling, but then he remembered a week prior, he was at a show. I think it was for New Japan Strong, and I think he was fighting Eddie Kingston or someone, and he got his whole 4 front teeth knocked out. Oh. So it was just a big gap, and he had a mouth guard to cover it because his replacements hadn't come in. So he goes, "How?" He started laughing, then he went like, he didn't want me to see his gap in his mouth.
If I were there, it was like, "Oh, chigago.
Well, I tell I was like, I was like, "Ichiban." I was like, "Ichiban." It was so funny. Anyway, but yeah, anyway, I love Tanahashi. Anyway, so tomorrow, everyone should watch Wrestle Kingdom. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, sorry about
Now
that.
we're gonna go to World's End, and we're gonna kind of breeze through a little bit with the pre-show matches because a lot of us missed them. Now
Yeah.
this time I do want to mention this time they did actually have them on the pay-per-view. We didn't have to go to like YouTube or TBS or whatever.
Or TNT, because they were showing, because a lot of marathons were going on, so that's probably why.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, the first one real quick. We got Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue going up against Hyun and Maya World, and
Oh, it was like an exhibition match for those two, and
Yeah.
and they got signed on.
yeah. So Hyun and Maya World are all elite. And the only thing I remember about Hyun is that Hyun was the one wrestler that was going up against Priscilla Kelly when she threw her tampon at her and everything.
Yep.
So
Yep.
So next one we had was Eddie Kingston going up against Zach Gibson with I guess James Drake in the background. And you had some notes on that, Jack?
The only yeah, that was it was actually a surprisingly decent match. I love the grizzled young veterans, so they just have a good amount of skill to just pull a good match out of anyone. I've already made no qualms about my thoughts about Eddie Kingston, but the match itself was fine. It's just kind of like a decent way to start the match, but it didn't feel like it needed to be on the pre-show. Just like the match prior, I guess, could have been just on a Dynamite or whatever. Like it didn't really need to be.
Yeah, but Sky Blue, we need some Sky Blue in the pay-per-view.
My friend, who a couple of my friends, they couldn't come this time, but a friend that seemed to always have the correct predictions. He was pretty much saying this pretty much as the pre-show was starting, and he was pretty much texting us saying, "This is a collision. This should be on Collision or something." He was saying that in our
it should
chat.
be.
Yeah,
because it should be. It didn't really need a reason to be there. It wasn't bad, but it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. It's kind of
On
like
Saturday night, it was Collision.
yeah.
it was the bean dip of matches. It's like, why do you bring bean dip to a party? I don't know. It's just there.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, Máscara Dorada and Bandido with Alex Abrantes went up against the Don Callis family, this time represented by Mark Davis and Rocky Romero, and the Luchadors won. So
I don't remember nothing about that match at all.
Yeah.
I don't remember a thing about that match other than I'm like, oh, I was like, well, I hope they do something with Mark Davies, but I don't think they will because now that they got that whole thing going with Kyle Fletcher, I don't see them reuniting Aussie Open anymore.
So then we had
Come on, Aussie Open.
Yep. We had the 8-man tag team match. In other words, the We Still Work Here match, which is Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey with Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus going up against Josh Alexander, The Demand, which is what Ricochet's team is now. So it's Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. They're called The Demand, And so Jet Speed and Jurassic Express won. And that's pretty much all we can say about that one. I
I don't remember that either.
because again, I forgot. Did our friends show up at the show or during the pre-show still? I think by then we were still getting in.
Kevin was here though.
Yeah.
So
And when he was making curry, as we were getting curry prepared, 2 different kinds of curry and everything. You can name the 2 types.
I need to have some of your curry, and I need to make some, and we'll test who's.
Oh, I made Japanese style curry and a Japanese style keema curry. So they can make their choices and like, okay, which do you like best? I don't care, eat it.
Yep. And one type goes like on top of rice, and the other type is yours is still. And the other type kind of goes with rice as a side. So
Or you eat it the way you want.
Spice or sweet? Do you do spice or sweet?
If it was only Mark, I would probably do more spicy.
Mhm.
But I also was making it for my parents too, and my mother doesn't do spice. And even growing up, they never really. My dad does spice, but my mother and grandmother didn't. So I always had to, have some kind of balance there. So it had like a small kick, not like a good kick.
Got it. Like a more of a peppery. I get it. Yeah. No worries. Just curious. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm for, but as I was saying, we missed out because people were coming over, we're talking, hey,
Um,
how's it going, and all that kind of stuff. And some people haven't seen the house yet, so we kind of showed them off too. And-
That's it. I wasn't around for most of the pre-show stuff, but I was showing my friend around. So because they hadn't
I-
been here yet.
I think the only thing I really don't remember much about the match. I just felt like I was kind of like, why is Josh Alexander here? Like I was literally, I think that was the only thing in my head. I was like, why are you here? Like,
Yep.
I thought you were part of the
Because
Don Callis family. Do they work with Ricochet now? Like, what the hell?
Sometimes, I guess.
I think it was more. I forgot how they even got those matches together, but who knows? It's like, hey,
Alright.
you work here, match.
If the last two matches were like this could be on a Dynamite or Collision, this match was like this didn't need to happen. Like this
Yeah.
match didn't need to even be shown.
Was
Like
that the
there's no
last-
gain to this
Yeah.
match. No gain to this
Yeah.
match.
That was the last pre-show.
Yeah, so now we're gonna start the actual event here. So the first one was the semifinal to the Continental Classic, which is Kazuchika Okada going up against Konosuke Takeshita. So they could finally also settle their beef because they've been beefing
Yes, sir.
for a good while by now. So finally there's a match, one versus the other.
Yeah,
And all that. And of course the winner will go to the final of the thing, which
and
would have been against
it would
versus
be
Moxley.
Moxley.
Yeah.
So like I said, Okada won this match by cheating.
Yep.
Which is fun. So we'll see how that turns out for later.
That was a pretty good match. Did you feel that Okada actually tried with that one?
Oh yeah, I actually did. Compared
He
to other
tried-
matches he did, it's like he was trying to do something compared to like his I'm just here for a paycheck, beach, But now
I
it's
think-
more like he has something to do there.
I think this match was like 2/3 of a good match.
Mm.
Like almost, because it felt like obviously the first half, a little bit of the beginning, they were just kind of playing up the crowd like they always do.
Mhm.
But then I was like, okay, now you guys got to be serious because I know they've been building this whole thing between them. And I'm like, okay, you're the IWGP champion.
Mhm.
You're the Continental champion. Show why you earn those belts. And then they did for like a little bit. I want to say like maybe like a third of the match, but then after it started getting, then they started coasting again, and I'm like, and then the ending with the cheap shot. I'm like, oh god. Ugh.
The thing
Like,
is, I
that's-
didn't even see him grab the
Straight-
screwdriver.
straight-
I'm sorry. I didn't even see him grab the screwdriver at first. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Why did they put it in his it's all little underwear?
And it's just weird because they're both of the same Phallus family. I'm surprised the other guy didn't grab a screwdriver too.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
has more honor.
It was
He's
so
an
dumb.
IWGP champion.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the thing is like, you're fighting in this tournament for your title, Okada, and he's got to fight at Wrestle Kingdom for his title. You're both going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. So that means more people are going to be watching this match who are kind of like, oh, okay, we need to give them an incentive to watch Wrestle Kingdom. Based off of that match, I wouldn't want to watch. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to watch these guys if they're going to do this stupid shit?
See, that just shows how poorly that New Japan in general is being promoted through there. Because, like I said, would it be like a really, really, really casual family? We know about New Japan mainly through Jack here, but and like I said, it's more like we know of it, and even All Japan.
It's
and
their
all that stuff, but
Wrestle Kingdom is their WrestleMania. It's like the equivalent of AEW's All Out or All In or whatever the hell, but it's the biggest show of the year, and so more eyes internationally are going to be watching Wrestle Kingdom. So for that reason, don't you think you should, follow in the mindset of screw what they want us to do, just let's have a great match, you and me?
I have a question because I don't remember, because sometimes I just kind of tune the commentary out, and I'm assuming it's a no. Did they ever once mention that Takeshi's going to be defending his title at Wrestle Kingdom? Did they even mention it?
No. But they mentioned Okada fighting Knight and fighting Tanahashi, which is stupid because it's on the same card. Like, wait a minute. One of you is the semi-main event. One of you is the main event. That right there could be a storyline.
Mm.
Like, y'all are stupid. And apparently it's such a big deal, on a tangent, sorry to go back to Tanahashi. It's such a big deal that they already confirmed from New Japan officials that in attendance for Wrestle Kingdom is going to be all of Tanahashi's rivals, including possibly AJ Styles and Kenny Omega is confirmed. So they're all going to be like out in the not in the ring, but like ringside. I'm like, that's crazy. Like all of his rivals, like Great Muta is going to be there. It's crazy. Anyway,
Styles.
It's sort of like last year with Kenny Omega. He was showed up Wrestle Kingdom last year, didn't he? And I was like, we were laughing like, yeah, Kenny Omega's back for Wrestle Kingdom, but not AEW.
yeah, it was weird. Anyway,
Johnny, your thoughts on that one? Okada versus
Takeshita.
I thought it was okay match. I don't really remember too much about it, but the only thing that's noticeable is that Okada did try to look good for this match.
Beach.
And not as city and gimmicky as he always has been, AEW style.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really like remember the match too much, but it did seem to be like an intense match. Because these are like the two of the greatest wrestlers from New Japan, I believe. So, you get that impression, even though I'm not familiar with New Japan, but you get the idea like, okay, this is a major match, we're watching here. So I did like it. I just don't really remember too much about it.
Okay. So next up we had here was the other side, which I accidentally spoiled without noticing. The other side of the Continental Classic semifinal, which is Jon Moxley versus Kyle Fletcher. And another intense match because, as we know, Fletcher has a lot to prove and all that. And
Wait a minute. How did Fletcher lose?
I think he got like a submission, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he did the bull choke, that choke thing he does.
Anytime Moxley has to be mentioned, I think I need to take a drink because, to get through this painful ordeal.
I knew you would love this pay-per-view because it has not one but two Moxley matches. Isn't that amazing?
I think I need about 4 more shots for that.
But no, honestly, this match was better than the last match. It was much better than the last match, more cohesive, and surprisingly, he did an okay job. Moxley did a pretty decent job. Kyle was really, really stepping up in this match. But
I'm kind of surprised there wasn't any blood in it. But like I said, it seemed like it was more focused on the technical stuff as opposed to all the gore and shock value.
I think he's trying to focus more on like the technical style of his wrestling than he does the blood. And I'm like, yeah, you mean like you're actually listening to my advice and focusing on the wrestling of wrestling, not the stupid CZW crap where they did stuff in the back of trucks.
Like I said, this is why I can never get into ECW. Even back then, I just was not a big fan of that style.
Anyway, what'd you think, Johnny?
I thought it was a really good match, and obviously I'm not a fan of Jon Moxley either, but Kyle Fletcher did make Jon Moxley look really good in this match, I have to admit. But yeah, I was just disappointed that Kyle Fletcher lost the match because there were many times that it looked like he was really gonna win this one. And it just sucks that at the end, frickin' Jon Moxley won the match.
Yeah, because I would have liked to have seen, I really would have rather seen Kyle Fletcher versus Okada. I think that would have been a way better match, honestly.
Oh, that would have been definitely. For sure.
Even Takeshita versus Fletcher would have been more interesting.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Those two fighting each other would have been nuts.
See, I was just shocked that Moxley won the match. I was really betting on Fletcher winning that one. I was like, so who cares about Moxley winning? You get in being in the final for the Continental Classic. And then I'm just thinking, well, if he's in the final, whoever goes up against him probably want to beat him. And I found out it was Okada. I said, well, Okada's probably going to win. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yep. So the next match we had here is the FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Mr. Stoke. Big Stoke can't get no hoes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Going up against the Bang Bang Gang, Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and Austin Gunn. And it's a Chicago street fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
I was tuned out. I wasn't here. I was walking all over the place. I didn't pay it no mind. I just did not care. Like I said, I used to care about FTR. I don't give a crap about FTR. The Bang Bang Gang, I mean, I like Juice in them, but it's just, they were FTR. It's just, my interest just was not there for this match.
They could have, honestly, because I feel like the crowd is getting more behind Juice and what's his name? Sean.
I think we do it with somebody else instead of going up against someone like FTR.
I'm like, I feel like they're getting more over, and because of that, they should have dropped the belts. Because they could have like built up a rivalry between them. But because the truth of it is like their tag division sucks right now. They've got maybe 2 or 3 good teams that aren't the same 2 teams over and over and over again. I'm like, I want to see more variety. I want to see more capability. Here's an idea. Make Okada and Takeshita a damn tag team. A reluctant tag team. They would make an unbeatable tag team, legitimately. If you put them in together.
Didn't I say that one time they should just go on and put them together and let them work together?
Yeah.
And someone goes, yeah, but they don't like each other. And I go, yeah, you know who else didn't like each other? Sheamus and Cesaro. They were one of the greatest tag teams in WWE.
Oh my God, I love them. I love those two.
They started off like they can't stand each other.
Yeah,
they had a series. They had a series of 7 matches.
They started like trying to brag or one up each other, but they eventually gained like actual respect and everything.
And they had a best of 7 series, and it ended up being a draw between them. Remember, with Sheamus and Cesaro, and that was amazing. But then they were like, "Screw it, we're putting you together," and then. Yeah, like do that. Do something like that. You'll be fine. And you can work it.
I loved that. I love their run. It was so much fun. It made me a Cesaro fan, honestly.
I just like how that story built up from them not standing each other to trust.
You know what? It made me start to like Sheamus too, because I kind of still had a thing against him after his little 2-second match against Daniel Bryan. I was still bitter about that, but when he got with Cesaro and did the tag team, oh my God, I loved it.
Oh, so Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea was very bitter about that.
I remember my reaction when I saw it. I said, what the heck?
But I think, honestly, you could do something with that and make more of a tag division. FTR, they've lost their luster. They're in the same category as the Young Bucks. No one gives a crap. Stop putting belts on them. Leave it be.
And they're stuck with a guy that can't get no hoes.
Poor thing.
Like, it's not even a matter of like that's the thing with FTR. It's not even a matter of like, oh, we don't like you because you're bad guys. No, we just don't like you.
Yeah, I'm sick of you.
Like as a matter of like, it's more of like the matter of like, it's like having a coworker you have a coworker who you don't like working with, but then you have a coworker who doesn't bathe, and you just don't want to be around them. That's FTR to me. Like, it's not even a matter of I don't even like you anymore. I can't physically be near you. You infuriate me. Like, that's the way I feel about FTR. I'm like, here's a bar of soap. Go fuck yourself and leave.
Dude. Johnny, do you remember anything about this match with the FTR versus them? Oh, let's start some milk. Never mind.
In terms of FTR, I don't care much about them either. I feel like they lost their way. They lost like their charm or charisma or whatever that they had back then.
Yeah,
like they lost it. Like I feel like they're just like there just to be there. Like they're like half of what FTR used to be in many aspects. And I just wasn't really crazy about this Chicago style street fight. Like to me, it didn't really felt like a Chicago style street fight. Like it just felt like it's just there. It felt like it's average.
I have a question. I have a question for the Chicago boys. Now, how would you guys make this more of a street fight since y'all are former Chicago boys?
Probably need some chains and some deep dish pizza. Just grab them and just dunk the face in there or something.
Pizza.
Even though it's not hot, they can just play like whatever, like wrestling is. The pizza's cold, but they could just sell it like it's burning hot. And oh man, some ballpark hot dogs, man.
You could get a deep dish pizza, put it on the announcer's table, and then just have it whichever Dax, and then have him get him knocked out and have him go, and he's in the pizza, like they're drowning him in the sauce.
Can we throw Excalibur in there too?
Yes, that'd be fun.
But yeah, honestly, to make it more Chicago style, instead of putting FTR, they should just put Eddie Kingston. Because we need somebody that's gonna do that whole street brawling, just straight up street brawling, okay?
Maybe have Sky Blue twerk in the background because she's from Chicago. That booty is Chicago born and raised. But anyways, any thoughts on your Johnny?
Like I said, I wasn't impressed about the match. I didn't care too much about it. Of course, as usual, the camera angles are kind of all over the place. You can't really see what's going on. It just, I don't know, because I forgot what they did in the last league. Yeah, now we're in 2026, in the last year's edition of World's End in terms of the street fight. But I'm pretty sure that one was probably way better than this one. This one just felt like it's just there.
The sad thing
didn't
of
even
it
need to be a
is
Chicago style street fight at all.
the sad thing about AEW is maybe people might agree with me, might won't disagree with me. I don't know. But the funny thing about AEW is their rules are so lax that the audience doesn't even know what's a hardcore match anymore. Because you'll have matches where people will hit each other straight up with chairs, and the ref will that's fine. And you're like, wait a minute, what? And then so it's oh, it's a street fight match. It's oh, it is? Oh, okay. Because spoiler, later in the show, we have a much gorier, bloody match, and that wasn't a street fight. How does that work? I'm just saying, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, guys. Now we got a tag team match for the AEW Women's World Championship. We got the Babes of Wrath, which are Hardy Cameron and Willow Nightingale, going up against Mercedes Moné and Athena. Yeah, and it was a good match. I liked it. It was entertaining. Willow's entertaining, doing the pounce and all that. And Hardy Cameron with her shenanigans. But I also like how Athena was losing more and more patience with Mercedes during the match. They kept yelling at each other.
As we all do.
Yeah, but they keep yelling at each other and stuff like that. And at the end, I think Mercedes was the one that ate the pin. She got pinned or submitted. She did something, but she lost the pin. And Athena was just really? She got in her face about it and everything.
Oh, and I can't remember a lot of spots, but there was that one spot we had a hard time describing, so I just had to write this one down. It's Harley did a double crucifix type move on Athena and Mercedes or something.
Yeah.
It was I couldn't describe.
They were both trying to pick her up, but she grabbed her from behind and did a double.
It was weird.
Crucifix slam on them both.
Yeah,
so that was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that was very surprising. Since Harley is still kind of, still.
And I'm not sure, but did Athena or someone pick up? Well, someone picked up Willow, which is impressive because of size difference.
Mercedes.
Mercedes
picked up Willow.
Yeah, that was a shock.
Which she set her up for the whatever the hell she calls it, the banks, not the bank statement. What do you call it? Is that what she calls it?
No. No, that's Sasha Banks. That's the bit. No, what's it called? The
cash out or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what
the cash app Giselle.
The overdraft, the the overdraft, the
Venmo.
401k. I don't know, the Venmo transaction. I don't know what the fuck
The
they call it.
Zell Slam. The
The
Venmo.
Zell- the Bitcoin bomber. I don't know what the
Oh God.
anyway. But when she set her up for it, and then Willow reversed it into a that's what happened. I remember that part. I was like, what the? I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? Don't you weigh like 100 pounds wet, like soaking wet? Like, damn, girl's like tiny as hell. But I was like, oh, that was impressive.
She
And
lives.
I'm happy. I'm so happy that it was not Athena that was the one who took the loss, and they didn't make Athena look like a bitch, because I love Athena, and she
Mhm.
does not deserve any of the flack she gets at all from the stupid company. She needs to stay in Ring of Honor and not leave, or leave somewhere else and not go to AEW.
I just wish that Ring of Honor was more like, I guess, older Ring of Honor, or there was more emphasis put
Respectful.
on Ring of Honor, because
Or
it's sort of like,
prestige or something.
yeah, because it's like New
Like,
maybe it was more
Japan, it's like an
mainstream.
afterthought.
Like how
New
the fact
Japan,
that
CMLL
that
is like an
Deanna
afterthought.
Purrazzo, like the fact that Deanna Purrazzo is the first ever pure women's champion, that's a perfect choice, because she is one of, if not the greatest women's submission wrestlers on the planet. So for her to win the pure title, perfect sense. Do they do anything with her on anything? No, but it's still cool. Like, I'm like, damn.
It's like they're not making us care, and they do keep bringing up Athena's run too. I mean, how long she's held
She's a
that?
forever champion.
She's a forever
She
champion.
is.
So,
She was a champion when I first went to WrestleCon 2 years ago. She was the champion.
Now the other thing is, the only thing I've seen snippets here and there, but it gets a Ring of Honor now. Diamante is the new, like the new minion in there, while she still has like baby starts with her.
you know, I really like Diamante too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a cutie.
I like Diamante. I like Athena. I don't like Mercedes.
What'd you think? What'd you think of the match, Johnny?
Okay, I thought this match was pretty cool. I like the Babes of Wrath tag team as a tag team, like the concept of having Willow and Hardy Cameron. Like, I thought it's pretty cool. I think they have very good chemistry. Uh, they're a good tag team. They both have, well, Willow has definitely more charisma than Hardy Cameron, but that's just my own personal thing. But they still both have a lot of charisma. So I like that about them. And yeah, this Mercedes Monet and Athena, like, okay, so my opinion is that I think Athena is like way too good of a wrestler to be with Mercedes Monet.
I agree.
Like Athena, her caliber is like this high, and Mercedes, we know where she's at. So yeah, I always felt like that tag team was kind of weird, and it didn't really mix well. And yeah, maybe that's the reason why they lost the match.
You know, now I have a little bit of a question. So we were talking about this here, just a little bit of a tangent, and we are talking about how, there are WWE runs, Sasha Banks and Ember Moon. And I was saying, how would you have booked them in WWE well, probably more so NXT as Ember Moon with Sasha Banks, like as a tag team? Do you think that would have been like come across a little better compared to how they were forced to do that here?
Yeah, they would have been. Well, I don't know about here. I just know better than their WWE runs, because I know that
Well,
that classic NXT Sasha Banks and NXT Athena, they would have probably wrecked house if they were tag team.
well, that's the
Oh,
thing
not in
is
the main
both of them were legitimately amazing in NXT.
Yeah,
At either respective times when they wrestled in NXT, even when Athena came, when Ember Moon came back, and she had that kind of like weird claw outfit thing, like the thing that had the smoke on. That was cool. I thought they were going to do a lot more with her, and then she signed with AEW. But the thing of it is that it truly was a matter of who was in charge, basically. And
It's such good shit.
and both companies, that's the biggest problem. It's and I truly do not understand the insane gaslighting that marks of AEW and WWE do to themselves to go.
I resemble that remark.
The Vince era would have never. The Vince era would have never. The Vince. I'm like, count how many black people were in WWE when Vince was in charge. Now count how many black people are in WWE now. Huge difference.
Well, you do know about Vince's standards, the Usos will probably fall into that category.
True. But the point of it is that, like, literally, think about it. When of the 4 horsewomen during Vince's run as being in charge, the only one who was platformed was Charlotte.
Yes.
To the point where we got sick of her. Now,
Yes.
Bailey and Sasha and Becky won titles, sure, but they won titles regardless of who they were. They won them despite being held back, because it wasn't only until recently that they actually started getting the recognition that they deserved. So it's totally different now. In the same thing as, like, even in NXT, it's how you're presented. It's not necessarily what you can do. It's how you're presented. Like, good example, Bandito in AEW. He's some guy.
Yep. With a mask.
With a mask. But in Ring of Honor, he's a fucking amazing. He was presented as the luchador. He was the top guy. He was the guy who became the Ring of Honor world champion for he was the last person to win the Ring of Honor world champion before the switch over to Tony Khan, and then Jonathan Gresham won it, then Tony Khan bought it. But the point of it is he was on an insane roll, had huge fan backing. He was selling merchandise up the ass. His masks were selling out. All this stuff. Then he goes to AEW. They put him on AEW, and he's just a second string fiddle there. Brody King, same thing. Second string fiddle there. Like, even like all these people, you put them with guys who are guaranteed money, but it's only guaranteed money if you present it in a way that guarantees the money. I mean, hell, look at Athena. We're talking about Athena. Athena has been the champion for over 1,000 days, nearly 1,200 plus days, I think. Is she presented in even the same ballpark as Mercedes or Tony Storm? No. But she's done more than they have.
Out of the 3, I do prefer Athena. And then Tony Storm and then Mercedes, maybe.
I love Tony Storm as a character. She's the reason she stands out. She's the only character in AEW. I mean, technically you could say Harley Cameron and Willow, but Harley Cameron is more of a comedic person doing stuff. And then Willow, her character is just, I'm happy. It's like, cool. Now what? I don't know.
That's how my friend kind of feels about Willow. He doesn't really care much for her because he said he would get sick of her. How to say? He said he wished she would get rid of the theme, maybe change the image a little bit. I think
They didn't like the theme song either.
Yeah.
Willow is what would happen if you looked at the old Hugger Bailey gimmick and you knew nothing about the character and you just looked at her design and went, I can do that. Go. Like, that's basically what Willow.
Yeah, you're right. She is just early Bailey.
She's early Bailey without any of the appeal.
But look on the bright side, she is part of a friends group.
She has I think the worst part is Willow has the skills. She could be a top person. I mean, the matches she had in Stardom were great, but they're just like,
Yeah, well, we'll get on that when we get on that part.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, the next match.
Yeah.
Sorry for that tangent, everyone. I was just curious, Ember Moon and Sasha Banks,
So the next match we got here is Darby Allin versus Gabe Kidd. It's a singles match there. And And
Let me take a drink.
it was all right.
Let me take a drink.
I can't think too much about it. I was never a big fan of Gabe Kidd either. He just seemed like an extra guy to cheat with the Death Riders, and they don't need any extra guys. They got enough guys already, you know. So I guess in that case, it was kind of good to see Gabe Kidd have an actual one-on-one match.
Oh, that's right. That's something you pointed out. That
Gabe Kidd's a fucking
we've never
beast.
seen him in a singles match, but at the same time, Gabe Kidd is another person that, like, he probably has that potential, but it's not being shown because it's just throwing in the thing just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's just my opinion. And of course, Darby Allin, I don't give a crap about him. I mean, he's the jackass that's setting family members on fire just to do proposals and all that stuff. It means I don't think there's a brain cell between him and his brother combined.
Mm.
Gabe Kidd should not have lost, first of all, and the match should not have been as long as it was. Because I've seen Gabe have harder fights. I've seen him put up better fights, and I've seen him win like titles through these better fights. But like, it's Darby Allin. I know they're presenting him as this top guy, but I'm like, it's still Darby Allin.
Yeah, like 80 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah. I'm like, the whole point, I'm like, I don't care what kind of stupid makeup he wears or what dumbass stunt he wants to pull with his brother's proposal, setting him on fire. That was still hilarious to me. I don't know if anyone knows about that. His brother recently proposed to his girlfriend, and they made it viral. He wanted to record it, and his brother, Darby's brother, asked him to set him on fire while he's proposing to his girlfriend as a stunt for his proposal. His fiance rightfully got scared and ran off camera because someone has to have common sense with that shit.
Hey, Mark, if you would propose to me while being set on fire, that would be an automatic no because that means you're a dumbass.
Yeah. And not only that, but we probably would not been allowed in that restaurant ever again.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it would have been banned out of that restaurant.
And granted, it was in a big skate park, but it's the point of like, why? I still stand by what I said. It's a fetish. I still stand by it, and nothing has proved me otherwise that it's not a kink. I'm like, so back to my whole thing. Gabe should not have lost. First of all, he should not have lost that easily. And second of all, I don't get the appeal of why they're trying to keep pushing Darby Allin, despite pushing him also away from. They want to push him to be the top guy, but they're also pushing him away from the world title picture. How does that work?
Maybe Darby Allin has a lot of creative control because Tony Khan likes skinny guys winning matches, like skinny guys and stuff or something.
Skinny guys with booty shorts.
Yeah, in 2012, April O'Neil shorts and leggings. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet Tony Khan had him in his office and he was like, all right, Darby, let me give you your new contract. He's like, can I cut myself with it? Can I give myself paper cuts and covered in salt? No, you just need to sign it. Well, can I stab myself with a pen? No, you don't need to do that. Well, let me go on top of the roof and jump off before I sign. Hang on.
Okay, I just ain't gonna drink for a while.
Anyway, what do you think, Johnny?
I personally don't really remember too much about the match, and I really don't care too much about the match.
Well said, John. So the next match we had here was the Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. And
Good Lord.
that was the match that got me interested in the pay-per-view because, So we got.
I'm sorry. Let me okay, go ahead and announce the people in the match and let me give my comment before you say anything else, please.
Okay, we got Timeless Tony Storm with Roderick Strong and the conglomeration of Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy going up against the Death Riders, which in this case is Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, and Marina Shafir. And of course, it's mixed nuts because you got women in there, So you're.
I'll say like mixed up because they're all crazy. But anyway, no. But my thing is, where were the other set of nuts? They had Marina and Tony in there. That was not all nuts. They have no nuts for them to be mixed.
Oh,
Okay,
So, anyways, it was a good match, and we got to see a lot of moments where the heels have no problems hitting Tony, while of course the guys kind of hesitate before trying to hit Marina and whatever. And I do like there was a part where I think was Orange Cassidy
and
was
Tony,
imitating. Well, there was a part he was imitating the Daniel Garcia dance. Or
yeah.
whatever. There was a part where Tony and Cassidy did like the tango type dance while hitting and kicking the others and stuff.
It's hate to say it. I mean, this was obviously a joke match, but I actually liked that. I just thought it was funny because, for the humor in it, it kind of goes because Orange Cassidy is whatever, and Tony Storm is kind of a, like her type of character. It just fit right in with how she does that character work. And I'm just going to say it. I'm so shipping Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm.
No.
And I love trying
They're
to
already
Mina
doing that.
Shirakawa.
Stop it.
I like
Stop
the
it.
part because Shirakawa was acting jealous and stuff.
Yeah.
And the last episode of Dynamite, she saw like the Orange Cassidy. Oh, you watch your back.
Yes. I love
And she
that. It's
said
so
there's
silly.
nothing going on, and it bites a whole orange rind.
Yeah, yeah. But
Also, I will say
doesn't
one.
care. He's just like whatever. He's like I don't know.
I will say one thing. I didn't know the name of the match, and now that I do, all I can think of is that's a lot of nuts.
I didn't catch that. What was it?
It was from Kung Pao Enter the Fist, where he goes, "That's a lot of nuts." But
Yeah.
but that's all I
And
thought
of
of because
course-
I'm like, so the whole match was just a joke kind of match, but
Yeah.
Well, Talia Castagnoli did get some fringe benefits. He did get the what do you call it, Tony Storm hip attack.
yeah.
Oh, and he also did the spin on her too.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen Talia do the spinneroonie on a woman.
So, I get it right. That Booker T.
The swing. The swing.
Yeah,
The
swing.
big swing.
Not the, so it wasn't a Shuggy Ducky quack quack moment.
No, it wasn't that Shucky Ducky quack quack moment.
You gotta
Here we
see.
go.
By the on a side note, you guys gotta see the clip of him from last NXT because now apparently he's a super fan of Joe Hendry and he tries to sing the theme song and he doesn't know the lyrics. It's the funniest shit. You guys see it, it's the funniest shit when he ever gets some time. But anyway, no, I mean like I didn't really have any opinion about the match. I just thought it was goofy for
Silly.
goofy's sake. Yeah, that's all it is. It doesn't really. I mean, it's so funny that you have these guys, the Death Riders, woo, and I'm like, y'all present yourself like you're out of fucking Mad Max, and then you have the conglomeration, which come off more like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. So it's more like the Globetrotters meeting Mad Max. It's the funniest shit.
The friends, 90210-ish
No,
type.
no. Also, you know what? I was about to say, so the Death Rider is like Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers.
Yeah,
No.
they are. They are. They are Bebop and Rocksteady. They are Bebop and Rocksteady. And John is Shredder.
So confident.
But not the
But
cool
look at
Shredder. Not the cool Shredder. The dumb 80s Shredder who didn't know what he was doing half the time.
It was like, okay, my script says I gotta try to take over the world. Why? I don't know. Yes, you will. I will have Dino Turtle soup tonight. No, okay.
And I
here's
guess
some-
that makes Tony Khan Krang, I guess.
Yeah. Oh god.
But I also was gonna say, like, what was it? Somebody. Oh, the fact. Yeah, Roger Strong. He was in the match too, right?
Yeah.
So what I found interesting is when we had any interaction between Roderick and Marina, because in real life they're married. So I kind of find that kind of interesting. Like they're slapping and hitting each other. It's like, wow, domestic abuse in a legal way.
Yeah.
She
then-
posted a thing
then
on
Roderick-
Instagram about it.
Then
She
Robert
posted a
like
thing
shoved
on
Marina
Instagram.
out the ring or something, and someone said, "Well, no one's getting dinner. Someone's not getting dinner tonight."
Yeah, she posted a thing on Instagram about it because I guess he I guess he hit her really hard on the back
Yeah.
and left a couple strike marks on her back. So they went to, I guess they were going to a thing, and then they were wheeling out in a wheelchair, her in a wheelchair. And she said, whoever said marriage was easy was lying. Like, okay, that's actually pretty funny.
on Dynamite, they had to end up going up against each other again, their two little teams or whatever. And I think he did kind of like a backbreaker on it, didn't he?
Yep.
When are we gonna get Storm Juice? God damn it! I want to see that shit.
And not only that, but oh god, can you imagine at dinner time or whatever, assuming she makes dinner and whatever.
But
but
Tony or
Marina, and then like Roger starts with Marina, where's dinner? You know,
I'm hungry.
I also missed. I heard Adam Cole showed up at the beginning. Did he ever give an update on his coming back or not, or no?
No, I don't remember what he was saying because we were like doing other things, but he was like talking about like he's gonna be there, I guess, to watch or support of the match or something. I don't remember what he was saying though.
yeah, we were.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
Also-
we were eating.
Also, real quick, does anyone know what the fuck happened to Matt Taven? Did he just disappear?
I guess
The Kingdom. Remember, he used to be a part of the Kingdom. It was
It's
him.
like what's his name? What William says about it must have been an AEW milk carton.
Like Keith
I
Lee.
guess so. I guess so. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Anything. Anyway,
Gosh.
go on.
Well, that's a blast from the past. I legit forgot about it.
Anyway, so what do you guys think? What did you think, Johnny?
I like the match. I found the match to be very entertaining more than anything. And it's kind of weird that Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm, like they kind of work good together as a team, I guess. And them doing the tango dancing and all that. So I don't know. I don't know if there's something going on between them or not, or whatever they want to do with them, but it was still
I guess
overall
Tony wants to find out if he's freshly squeezed.
You. But the thing that's also funny about that too, now that Johnny brought it up, like I said on Dynamite, they did have another match, but they had to work together, and Tony and Orange Cassidy, they kind of did like another dance again together and all that. But then you also have Mina Shirakawa, who seems to be jealous of Tony giving any attention to Orange Cassidy. Like even after the match was over, and Tony was like, checking on Orange Cassidy, because her team, trying to check him and whatever. Then Mina just come in there and like, oh no, you're not, and she did not like that attention Tony was giving to Orange Cassidy. So maybe they're trying to do some kind of weird love triangle angle, and I'm all for it because it's just something different.
Yeah.
And I can use a good laugh every once in a while, unironically.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's intentionally supposed to be silly.
So I guess the breast wrestler's jealous.
And because that's supposed to be intentionally silly and funny, not like watching these matches that's supposed to be playing as straight and serious, and you just can't help but laugh at some of the absurdity and choices made for those matches.
All right, so next we had the singles match at AEW World Women's Championship, which is Chris Statlander, the current champ, going up against Jamie Hayter, former champ. And yeah, I gotta say it's a good match between the two of them because they're both got strong power moves and everything. So that was pretty cool.
And it wasn't, I guess, too predictable because, like you said, Jamie Hayter trying to get her old, get her title back since she did have to, drop it all that time ago.
Mhm.
Chris, she's still champion and, she wants to keep it. So it was one of those matches where it could go either way, even though taking it off of Chris this early wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
So that
But I still like Chris as champion and everything. But yeah, pretty good match. Chris won the match. Chris retained, and then they gave themselves a handshake of respect and everything,
yeah.
and all that. So it's all good.
But the only downside is like, what are they going to do with Jamie in general? Because like they don't know what to do with her. She just seems to just be there, But that's kind of a problem with most of the people on the roster, in my opinion. It just seems like they're just there just to be there or just to make a match with no real full reason behind it or any build up for some of the characters.
Yeah, we need more random feuds that aren't just for the title.
Yeah.
Because the problem is once you go for the title and you lose it, and like you said,
It's
stuck
just,
with the
it's like, what do you do with what do you do with them? I mean, there's no real point in going back to it, and it's not like you're gonna do a rematch so soon. I mean,
yeah, or pick a fight with Queen Aminata or something. I don't know.
mhm.
Just not a champion unless they intend to actually have her win. You know what I mean? So it's not a good short.
What do you think of this match, Johnny? I'll let you go first.
I don't remember too much about the match, but I did remember that it is still a very intense match because we're talking about Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter, and I don't know, just Chris Statlander just showing how powerful she is, how she's able to pick people up, all the time.
The alien.
Yeah. But in terms of Jamie Hayter, I do agree that I feel like they don't really know what to do with her. Like I don't think they're not really giving her a good promotion because she started out with good promotion when she, in the very beginning in AEW, but then over time it just felt like what they do with most of the wrestlers, I don't know what to do with them after that, And it's kind of a bummer because I do think that Jamie Hayter does have a lot of potential, but they're just not really using that wisely.
Well, maybe they should
The
have
truth-
like the Sisters of Sin or whatever go after her, trying to convert her. Like like don't, but at least they have that feud going on, so she gets
Yeah.
an offer back or
I
something.
guess so, like how the Death Rider trying to get Chris to join them, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I have a theory of what they can do with her, but back to the original match itself. I think this was the best match of the night because it surprised me with how good it was. I think I kind of went in with very low expectations between the two. Their
But
styles
Jack,
are,
that's always your expectations are always low.
yeah, but even for my expectations, I was really surprised with how good it was because their styles are very, very similar. Both Chris and Jamie are powerhouse style wrestlers, so they're mostly use a couple, big moves, but when they fight someone that's of equal size and caliber, there's more possibility. Or if there's fighting a veteran who knows how to adapt to that style. So because of that, I think they had a better back and forth. And there were times where I thought, oh, maybe Jamie could beat her. I've never been a fan of Chris Statlander. I think she's kind of meh.
Don't
she's
let
not
DJF
bad.
hear that.
I don't think she's bad. I just think she's kind of there. But that's my opinion. Mostly, and I'm speaking mostly due to character. Like first she was an alien, then she was mean, then she was a mean alien. Now she's just some girl.
No,
Okay.
she's going back to the alien thing again.
Just that without the
Oh, is
boobs,
she an
yes.
alien again? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, like when you're on, whatever works. But
Yeah, even when some promos were being cut on her, they bring up the whole alien thing with her.
yeah, but in the same way, Jamie Hayter's character has kind of always been just a powerhouse, which is fine.
I mean,
But
now she
I
just
wish
does
they
the
would
thing
do a
where she
little.
kisses her muscles all the time.
Yeah, and I wish they would. I have a theory of what they can do with her.
But I don't think she wants to do an OnlyFans though, Jack.
No. So
And now it's about
since what happened on Dynamite, I think what they should do is start a feud between Jamie Hayter. And the reason I say both of them is because neither of them have a defined character. This could be the opportunity to build one. Jamie could be turning into this kind of I'm better than you kind of attitude, but not in the Mercedes Moné kind of way, in a way that I'm just better in the ring. I've been this, I've done this, build up this character. And then Willow can be like, I may be all smiles, but I'm like kind of like what Bailey did to get, since I compared her to Bailey, what Bailey did to get over the crowd with NXT. Like she was like, oh yeah, I'm goofy, I'm a fan, but I can kick your ass. Like, and I can prove my worth here. And what I think they should do, build a feud with them. What you do is you give them one-on-one match, just a regular match, and then have that match end with Jamie Hayter, or no, go to a time limit draw. So it's not a definitive win, it's a time limit draw. Then Willow kind of like starts to second guess herself, and Jamie can literally use the whole, you being such and such champion, you are a fluke. You're a fluke champion. I proved it because I almost beat you. And then you're not worthy to be it. Then she puts the title on the line. They fight again. This time, it's also a draw, but it's a double knockout. Like they can't get up for the 10 count. So it's still building the feud. It's not her losing, but it's not her winning either. And then the final match they fight, it's like, this is it. Best 2 out of 3. And then that will help build up their character. We're building up promos, building up characters, building up stories, and going like, look at what I've been through. And then Willow goes, look at what I went through. And and then like you could kind of relate to their characters. And then culminate at All Out or whatever the hell big show they have. And then have Willow retain. And then that will turn Jamie slowly into a villain, but like a vindictive villain, not like a Tekla or like the Sisters of Sin, but more of like a, I'm gonna do everything I can to get one up on you assholes and not let anyone else take my spot kind of thing, kind of in a weird way like MJF does, but better because his character sucks.
You mean sort of like how, well, I guess it's not really the same, but I'm just saying like Tanahashi and Okada, how Okada was like he's the, the rookie technically, and he went up against Tanahashi, he was like the more veteran type. So I
yeah,
guess
but it's like a flip reversal of that.
Except reverse.
Yeah. Yes. And tell me that whole layout that I just gave me, tell me the fans would not like end up after that feud's over, they would not end up liking both of them.
I actually like that kind of setup because, like I said, I do like Willow especially, but I have to agree with like what you guys have said, and also like what my friend has said. It's like I mean, she's okay in the ring, but there's still not as much about her to fully get behind her or to get drawn to her.
If anyone gets a chance,
she is just about being happy.
If you get the chance to watch the match she had with Julia. The match she had with Julia where she lost the New Japan strong belt, that was the best match of her career, and it legitimately cemented me into going, this girl is going to be a top champ one day. I saw that match over a year ago or 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is the Willow everyone needs to see. So if you get a chance, look it up. I think it's on New Japan World somewhere, or you could look it up on YouTube TV. Willow versus Julia for the New Japan strong belt.
Could you share it? If you can find it, can you share it with us? Because I would like to see that.
Yeah, it was a great match. And literally after the match, Julia told Willow, she's like, you're going to be a world champion one day. You're going to be a top champion one day. I can guarantee you. And I'm like, for Julia to say that, that's something. Like, Julia is an international star. So for her to say that, that's huge. But she did say she wants to fight her again one day. So who knows? Maybe Willow could pop up in WWE. I don't know. But it's the point of it is like Jamie Hayter is the same way. Jamie Hayter had all the potential in the world. She was in Stardom. She's a former Stardom alumni, but they never gave her a singles run. They always put her in tag champs, tag team runs because she was so much bigger than all the women. But now you could be like, okay, let's pull the trigger on her being a singles champion. I'm just saying, like, you could do something with that or make her. Oh, here's an idea. Here's another idea. Have Jamie Hayter leave AEW and start building ranks in Ring of Honor and have her be the one that dethrones Athena.
Oh.
Granted, she'd have to build up a lot of wins first. Yeah, I'm saying, like, if anyone could like beat Athena, like it'd have to be a big person who she's never fought, and she's never fought Jamie Hayter, so you could do something with that.
That's right. She never fought her. Yeah.
So again, that's just me coming up off the top of my head, and like I said before, me off the top of my head is still better than AEW creative.
No, the fact that I could probably book something better is sad because I have no booking skill ability. So
anyway, Anyway,
let's-
what'd you guys? Anyway, what did you
Yeah.
guys think of the match? Did you think it was just kind of meh, or
I thought it was like all right for what
I
it
liked
was. It was okay for what it was, I think. And it was nice seeing Jamie, and it was nice seeing Chris. But but like you said, personality wise, it could be, the characters themselves could be better when it comes to the personality thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that they're really trying hard, but like I said, Jamie Hader lost, and the only downside is like, what do they do with her?
Yeah.
All right, so our next match.
All right, so next we've got the actual final for the Continental Classic for the AEW Continental Championship, which is John Moxley versus Kazuchika.
Kazuchika?
Yeah, Kazuchika Okada.
Yep, and this is another Moxley match.
Now, here's something that I would like you, before we get into it, I would like your opinion on it. Now,
We'll just study.
oh yeah, so I have a problem with the way this whole card is set up because they did this last year too, with the Continental Classics, and doing the semifinals and then that final match. I have a problem with having semifinal matches for a main, like prestige type match on a pay-per-view. It should be on the like Dynamite or Collision, or at least, well, Dynamite at least, have all the semifinal things covered throughout those weeks so that you have something to look forward to in the pay-per-view. Not, oh, I can't wait to see those semifinal matches on a pay-per-view that should be on Dynamite. But that's just my opinion about it, because they could have had something else better on the card.
Yeah, but I think it adds to the suspense too, because since you have like a match earlier, now it's like, Moxley already beat himself to hell to win, and because Okada did the same thing. Now how are they both gonna fight the same night after they just had big matches earlier?
See, the problem is I don't give a crap about Moxley. So, like I said,
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, that's pretend. Like, if it was someone you actually give a crap about, you probably would have felt that suspense.
I
So
still
to
feel
answer
that it
your-
doesn't belong on a pay-per-view to me.
to answer your question, normally in a tournament setting, because obviously they base the Continental Classic off of the 5-star Grand Prix and the G1 in New
Yeah.
Japan and Stardom, respectively. When they do the finals of those shows, they do the same night as the semifinals. However, this is the most important thing. They make the entire show about the finals. And then what they do is they have the semifinals at the very, very beginning of the show. So at the very, very beginning of the show, it's cemented in your head, X is going to fight Y at the main, and that's the main event, the finals.
Yeah.
So if they had done it that way, I think it would be a little better. But the problem is AEW had so much clustered shit around it that you couldn't actually digest it proper. It's like it's like, think of it like, okay, think of the Continental Classic or the semifinals. Think of the semifinals as a baked potato and a vegetable side. And the finals should be the entree, the meat, or whatever the hell you have. Now, if you eat a shitload of appetizers, then the potato, shitload of appetizers, then the vegetable, by the time you get the entree, you're going to be so full, you're not going to be able to enjoy the meal. It's the same principle. So in New Japan, what they would do is they would go semifinal, match 1, match 2, semifinal, and then the finals are a main event. So we'll have a couple of the other matches, maybe a couple tag teams, not too loaded, but because we started off with the semifinals, it's in the front of your mind.
Mhm.
So you know whatever's going on with this belt, with this belt, with this belt. The main event is the title. Then there's another thing that they don't do in New Japan. They don't do, which also beyond pisses me off. If you're gonna copy, actually do it. If you're gonna paint like it's like the equivalent of like if you draw a picture of a Polyworld, think of the Pokemon Polyworld, and you don't have the spiral, well then it's not a Polyworld.
Yeah,
You
you're
need
right.
you need to draw it proper. So the other thing that they don't do proper with the Continental Classic is they don't do what they do with the 5-star and with the G1, and that is a crowning ceremony. They have someone come out and present something along with the win, and then they pose, say such and such, end of show. If they did that proper, like you've seen the clips of Takeshita when he won it, you get handed this amazing trophy that looks like a dude on fire. You get a flag carrying the banner that I think translates roughly to the honor of Japanese pro sports. And then you get handed you get to take a photo with like the Japanese press or something, or like the president or whatever, or a previous legend will come out and present you the flag or something. But they and then they go and then confetti. It's cheesy, but I'm like, yeah, but all crowning ceremonies are cheesy. That's the point.
Like I said, they're actually treating it like it's some kind of big deal, and I think that's my. And now that he's explained how they do it, at the actual G1 and stuff,
it doesn't matter.
Actually makes sense because, like I said, that's what's my problem. When we get these semifinals, then we get that, but it's like it's just
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end because it's like what do you win? You win a title. Okay. What's the difference between you fight? Here's a perfect example. Here's how you would win how the Continental Classic should end. The winners, whoever won, get a crowning ceremony at the end, and they get a shot at the Continental title at All In, the biggest show of the year. They are guaranteed a title shot. So leading up to whenever All In is, whoever's the champion, say he defends it against X, Y, and Z, he loses the belt. Doesn't matter who has the belt here. You're the champ. You're the number one. Doesn't matter if you're already. It's fine. You're good. If you did it that way, present the Continental Classic winner as it is portrayed in New Japan or Stardom as a championship, because they do count that as a championship, then you'd be fine. But they don't. They go, what? I went through 6 weeks of a grueling tournament. What do you win? I get next. That's it? Yeah. That's not really a. But I fought and cried. And then they lose. And then the next guy comes out. He comes out as the champ. The champ comes out. Well, I had a grueling fight. This other guy's like, oh, I want a shot. You got it, bastard. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You see how stupid that sounds?
Yeah, okay, I have to agree with that. I think if it was set up that way better, despite it being Moxley, I think I probably like it a little better. But because like I said, they make it such a big deal, but they don't treat it like one. And I guess I'm supposed to care, but it's hard to care when they don't show like they care.
No, the only thing about Moxley is I wish he lost it earlier because I liked the little storyline. He kept losing matches and stuff. I would have liked it if Fletcher beat him to give like the ultimate whatever with the Death Riders not like losing more respect for him and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be something different and interesting. They'd be like, hey, this guy's our leader, but he keeps losing. Should we really be following him?
Yeah. I'm like, and also I can't take the breakfast title seriously. I'm sorry. I can't. I refuse.
Yeah, but any thoughts on the actual match though, not the how it should have been.
The actual match actually was pretty good. I was surprised with how well paced it was. I don't know if they fought each other.
That's what made it kind of interesting for me. At first, I was disappointed that Moxley won, but they wait a minute. I've never seen those two fight each other.
Yeah,
I think in a tag. I think I've only seen them ever fight in a tag team, but never in a singles match. So yeah, I think because of that, it was kind of the variety was very different.
Mm-hmm.
And it did seem like he was bringing out a couple of the old Okada stuff, which was good. And I will give credit to Moxley in the fact that he has, as we stated before, gotten more focused on the actual in-ring work and the submission style than blood, stab, punch, break. It's actually gotten more to the actual aesthetics of wrestling, which I like. But I kind of agree with Jupi. I don't really think he should have won. I still think it should have been Okada, but I think it should have been Okada beating him clean, like not cheating, like as the Rainmaker. But again, that's you got to. I was in a no-win scenario. I don't really the way Okada is now. I don't even call him the Rainmaker anymore. I call him the no money maker. So he's the debt maker.
Now, what if it was Okada versus Fletcher, though? How would that have gone?
That would have been very different because that would have been closer to Okada versus Will Ospreay. And Okada versus Will Ospreay matches are such a variety of different things that could go right and wrong, where like Will Ospreay would do like high flying stuff, but striking as well. Fletcher does that really well. Okada wrestles, or in peak Okada, he wrestles like a lumberjack. He just like chop, 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 chop. Like that's why like him and Gunther or Walter are the same way. They just strike, like they're like a surgeon. They just like, they're not like fancy or crazy where well like half of AEW doing like 600 backflips and going like, hey, look what I can do. And then woo, and like, okay, that's cool.
Well, I can do it better. Nothing but net.
Yeah. Literally every time they do a thing, I just imagine a quote from a Sonic video game. Anytime they do like a backflip or moonsault, I just hear like, you're going down, Robotnik. Every time. Like, or I just hear anytime like Ricochet does a move, I just hear like every time. Anyway, yes. But honestly, with this match with Kyle Fletcher and him, it would have been better because there would have been more variety. And Moxley wrestles very stiff, so does Okada. So it was more interesting on paper than what I got. It was fine. I think it would have been better if it was Takeshita versus Fletcher. Yes. That would have been way better. Because their styles are so different. Hell, even Takeshita versus Moxley, honestly, that would have been different too.
Yeah, I don't think I remember ever seeing them go against each other either.
They haven't either, and they're also in the Don Callis family too. So I don't know. I just kind of like. I mean, for the match itself, it was. Let me see if I made any notes. It was a very good paced fight. Seems that they were on their game compared to their last match in the tournament. So compared to their last matches each of them had, they were better. But I don't think it was still to the standards of what I would expect from either of them, if that makes any sense.
Given that Okada isn't like in his peak form like he used to be in general, I was just thinking, like, if you would have gotten Okada versus Fletcher, how would that have been? Because it seemed like Fletcher would have had to carry the match if they would have gone against each other.
Yeah. That's why I'm hoping for tomorrow, him versus Tana, for him to pull out the old Rainmaker. I want to see the old Rainmaker versus the old Ace one last time, see if they can go. If they can't, I'm okay with it. But I want to see that just one last time. And I think the fans want to see that too.
Well, one thing I got to say about Tanahashi, he got stabbed in the neck like 3 times. I think he can handle anything.
Yep.
Actually for this match, I think it was all right, honestly. I know I joke about it, but it really wasn't that bad because, it wasn't all blood and gore. And like I said, Moxley was actually trying to be more technical with his work. And he actually seemed like he was trying to sell a couple of moves.
It should have been the end of the show with a crowning ceremony, as I stated. That's how it should have done. And then the main event should have been here. Like, just go, and then it would have been fine.
How about you, Johnny? What did you think of of this match?
Well, a part of me didn't really care too much about the match because he knows Moxley in it.
Here.
But I will give credit to Okada. I think Okada is the one that made Moxie look good in the match because it
Mm.
kind of forces Moxley to kind of fight a little bit better than how he usually does. You know, to test his limits. But yeah, for this match, Okada should have won this one, in my opinion. Well, I don't know why Moxie he did not need it to win this match.
Well, the only reason he probably had Okada lose is because of his because of the Wrestle Kingdom match, I guess, upcoming. So I don't know, because when I found out about Wrestle Kingdom, I said, oh, so that's why he dropped the title, because he probably because he has to, prepare for that and go against Tanahashi.
Yeah.
And then after that, he probably will take a long break or something.
Yeah.
I would think.
Mm. Oh, see how
It
that
was
goes.
all right. It was all right match.
Mm. So now we get to the big pay-per-view, which is exciting because we had Samoa Joe. Started out with Samoa Joe going up against Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship. But all of a sudden, MJF made his big return, started talking smack, blah, 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 blah. So now he got inserted himself into the match. So it's, Samoa Joe versus Swerve versus Hangman and versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. And also, this was that's the thing too. MJF had that Casino Gauntlet thing that he never actually signed. So now he officially signed it and everything to be in the match.
So this is something in continuity and storytelling, because a couple of Dynamites ago you just showed up because the rule was they changed last minute. You can only challenge for a challenge unless you have give the champion at least a week's notice. So he just showed up, signed it, he said, I'm in this match now.
Yep. So fatal four-way, pretty good match. Everyone got their moves in here and there. Samoa Joe being a powerhouse, Hangman being intense. There was a moment where, because you know how it is, Hangman and Swerve Hangman and Swerve had their long ass rivalry. Now they're kind of sort of on good terms.
They seem to be frenemies.
Yeah. So there was that moment where they were only two in the ring, and you know how it is, gotta keep it going. So they went at it for a while and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, the big thing was, while some of them were, everyone's all down and out and stuff like that. And I forgot. I think Hangman got some oil with the dead eye or something, with the buckshot area, whatever. But then instead of getting the pin him, MJF took a shot, got him out of the way, pinned him down, and pinned Samoa Joe instead, and he won the title.
One thing I noticed about this match is that Joe looks very tired, more than I realized.
Yeah,
for this,
because being sweet tooth kind of takes it out of you.
Well, yeah, but yeah, it's just he seemed a little bit more tired. I guess the match was all right for what it was. I don't know how to fully feel about it. I mean, I didn't think Adam Page should have won. Swerve. I think the real people that had a chance at winning that would have kind of made sense to get it off of Joe would have been Swerve or MJF.
And now we got Mr. With the brand new dance move. Yep.
Yeah, I guess it was all right, I suppose. But it's like, where are they going to go from here now? Like, who's going to challenge them? And
he's got a lot of challengers now.
Yeah.
Because MJF
did his
big. Well, first of all, he got the the big Burgundy belt back, the Triple B. But Samoa Joe wants some payback. Swerve wants payback. Hangman wants payback. And now the Hurt Syndicate are showing up again.
Oh, that's right.
So everyone wants payback. Honestly speaking, if Wardlow was still around, because I don't know what the fuck happened to him, that would have been a shot for him to come back also and come after MJF.
Oh, yeah. That would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something that we just forgot to mention earlier with Mercedes. After she lost the match with, her and Athena lost to, the Babes of Wrath or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was so mad. She cut her promo, she cussed whatever, and then she said she wanted to challenge Willow for but she put her title on the line to go up against Willow on Dynamite. And Willow Esther beat Mercedes, and she's now the new women's TBS champion.
Yep, and two-time TBS champion.
That's right. Yeah,
so that was pretty awesome.
she won it back off of Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah, so Haley Cameron and the rest of the conglomeration showed up to congratulate her, but the big deal was that Chris Daniel showed up for a moment, and it was kind of like, the hesitation. You don't know, she's gonna start some shit. But instead, they hug each other. And I like how they did the same pan out shot like the best friends do. And the people said the whole God, give the crowd what they want. So that was kind of a good little reference there. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, on to this match at hand.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Mr. Knives?
I thought it was a clusterfuck. I mean, like,
Well, it's a four-way and it's AEW. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, there's
it felt like the match didn't know where it was going, and I've made it no qualms. I've said it repeatedly. The dumbest mistake ever is giving MJF the world title because his character does not work as a champion. His character never works as a champion. And as soon as I didn't even know about the stupid him bringing back the dumbass belt, I wrote in my notes, clusterfuck of a match. Once again, MJF is the worst thing about this shithole company, and him being champion will once again retread the same shit he did the last time he's champion. And now you're telling me he brought back the same belt he had. So I called that shit before I even knew about it.
And here's the thing that's funny about that, because like he brought it back on Dynamite and he had the world title or whatever, he just tossed it aside, and that's where like Swerve and Hangman and Payne showed up, and Samoa Joe like, yeah, we won that belt. I said, he just threw it on the floor, just go pick it up. You're champion now. Because you get a belt and you get a belt and you get a belt, but that's how Tony does things. He's like
Oprah.
Yeah, he's like a male version of Oprah.
No, Oprah probably has more testosterone.
Funny, like she probably has more balls than he does. She would have been good in a mixed ups match.
MJF is. I'm trying to think what I compare him to.
He's your scumbag?
No, he is never. No, fuck that shit. MJ, no, you know who he is?
Because MJ is better than you, and no.
He's not. He's not even better than half of the roster. Hell, he's not even better than fucking Orange Cassidy. I'll say that. Damn.
But started growing me again.
But the truth of it is his character again. His character doesn't make sense for him to be champion. He's literally a shit heel. He is a character whose whole entire character, A to Z, is ego and is chasing gold. But it doesn't work when you have the gold. There's only ones can pull it off, very rarely, when they're that kind of shit heel of like, I'm better than you, I'm greater, I fucking deal with it, because they can go in the ring. Perfect example. Same character, works perfect as a champion. Ethan Page. Ethan Page in NXT is exactly how MJF should be, but he's not. Do you know why? Because Ethan Page doesn't have to do cheating shit. He doesn't have to do the same old shtick. He does different things, and he just tells you, you know what? Fuck you. I'm done with it. Wah! And he walks away angrily. MJF goes like, I'm better than you. That's all he does. Ethan Page comes off as a pretentious guy at a college. Like a guy who's like, Daddy paid for my college. I'm better than you. And that's what MJF tries to pull off as. But what MJF actually pulls off as is Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. He is I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then Inspector Gadget fucks up, or his stupid daughter fucks up. And he's like, damn it. Like that's it. That's no. You know who he is? He's Cobra Commander. He's fucking Cobra Commander. He's just that guy who can't do jack shit without his cronies, and everyone's just like, why are we afraid of some dude in a chrome mask? Well, I don't know, but he's scary. Why is he scary? I don't know.
He signs our paycheck.
No, here's the answer. Here's the only rightful, correct answer. It's the 80s.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Also,
his character,
he signs our paycheck, so let's act
his character is a prototype. His character is a Temu version of $1 Million Man. But the difference is $1 Million Man was never a world champion. And everyone goes, he should have been a world champion. He was so good in the ring. Yes, but he should have never been world champion because his character wouldn't have made sense. The only time he was ever technically a world champion was when he had Andre the Giant beat Hulk Hogan for the world title. Then he paid him to give him the belt. That is some shit MJF should be pulling off. Him not doing the dirty work, him having his cronies doing the dirty work, him going over and 1, 2, 3, that's how he works as a character.
I guess technically that's what they were trying to do when he was with the Hurt Syndicate, because he let them pretty much do everything, but it kind of got,
To quote CM Punk called it right, straight to his face, even though it was a promo, 100% right. He said, he's like, you act like you're a once in a generational talent, like you're the first person to ever do half of the things you do, but in reality, you're just a less famous Miz. And he called it then. And it's still fucking relevant today. MJF can't wrestle. He can't wrestle in a wrestling company. And people go, oh, he's a good wrestler. Is he though?
Yeah, but
really
think about WWE though.
Bullshit, dude. There's some guys in WWE who could run circles around him. Fucking Grayson Waller's a better wrestler than MJF.
You're saying that he can't wrestle in a wrestling company. I'm saying it doesn't stop some of the WWE guys.
Yeah, but the people in the WWE guys who can't wrestle, they rarely give them the top prize again and again and again and again.
You know, we just said with the thing with the Miz. Remember when I first started getting back into watching AEW like semi regularly, and I finally got introduced to mostly all the MJF stuff. And I remember when I would jokingly say, "Hey, it's AEW Miz."
It is. He is the Miz, basically. But the thing of it is like I literally said, his character doesn't work. He doesn't make sense when he's the champion. When he's the top champion, specifically.
Well, he's a Miz, but without a filter.
Yeah, if he was the top
filter.
When he was the world champion, it was the worst reign in AEW history. It was the most dragged out, terrible pay-per-views. He never main evented, and when he did main event, it was the dumbest shit. Did y'all just forget about the All-In incident with him and Adam Cole? All that multiple cluster fuckery of him fighting him and him going.
What about the bro chachos?
Try to think about all of that.
And then all of that leading up to the devil incident and him revealing, and it's like, turns out the crippled guy was the villain all along. Oh my God, what's going to happen next episode? Nothing.
I did it for the Cole.
I did it for The Rock. Yeah, exactly. I did it for the Cole. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
I did it for the Cole, baby.
Also, I will say on a side note, I think Samoa Joe is in probably the worst shape I've ever seen him in. He really needs to.
Yeah, I noticed it during this match. So that's why I say he looked older and he looked tired. So I think him dropping.
He looks like a guy. He looks. I hate saying this, but he looks like a guy who's been too long at a buffet. And I'm not in a fat way, in a way of like, this is concerning. Sir, we need to cut you off, sir.
But you said all you can eat.
It's like, sir, your neck is pulsing. You need to stop. Please. No, stop it. Stop. You don't need any more egg rolls. Stop it.
Put it out. Going on a little vacation.
But anyway, The match was kind of a clusterfuck. I really didn't know. I thought it was going to be, honestly, I'm glad it wasn't Hangman either. I was kind of like, maybe they'll make Swerve champion again now that they kind of know where they're going, kind of with him, kind of.
They should just make Swerve and Adam Page a tag team. I mean, just whatever. I mean,
and the sad thing is, you have 3 guys in there. This is the sad thing. I love Joe, and I'm not saying this to boost his ego or anything. Joe, out of everyone in that match, is the only guy who can carry a company because you gave the belt to Swerve. He was okay. They didn't really know what to do with him as champion. Every time Hangman Page has ever won the title, he's never held it for longer than 2 months. He drops it almost every first defense. And then MJF is blander than milk toast covered in wheat. So, yeah. Like,
you try milk toast someday. I hear it's a delicacy.
No,
I don't know. I'm just curious about it. I've always heard of it. I've never had it.
MJF is the equivalent of asking for something spicy and someone handing you a glass of horchata. It's the equivalent of that. Like, spicy.
I like horchata too.
It's like, I know, but it's not spicy. And everyone's like, oh my God, have you tried this? It's too spicy. I'm like, that's cinnamon.
Hey, I want to learn how
Anyway.
to make some horchata, Mark.
Anyway, Johnny, what did you think of the match now that my rant's over?
I am not happy right now.
Bad. About this match, I don't know. I think the timing of the match was kind of weird. I think by then everybody's like tired and zoned out. Like, we just want this pay-per-view to end already. And that's the feeling I got because, just the fact that MJF is in the match already gives you that feeling like, oh, just finish this shit up. Like, I'm done.
God.
I'm done with the pay-per-view. I'm tired. MJF is just stupid. He just gets more lamer by the minute. And yeah, it just sucks that he defeated Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland and Heckman, Adam Page. Like, any one of those guys should have won the match, and instead we had MJF won the match. So,
like I said, realistically, it probably should have been Swerve or MJF. So
yeah.
Because like I said, Adam Page getting it back when it makes sense, and unless Samoa Joe is retaining, if they were to get it off of him, it would have been like one of those two. Realistically, it would make sense. But
yeah, the way MJF conducts himself and the way he carries himself, but he won this match, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit.
Now that I think about it, I have to agree. Yeah, I guess as a champion, he really doesn't work because of the type of heel that he is. So
And he's not really a good wrestler, and he only wins by cheating.
Yeah, he can't do a single match without cheating.
I've never seen him win a match fair and square. He always has to cheat with the ring.
Or whatever. Winning a match clean would be kind of weird. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then now you mentioned it, the Ted DiBiase situation, and I just thought about that. Like you said, he never had a world champion on a championship until he bought that belt off of Andre.
Yep,
that's good storytelling because it goes with the character and with the way MJF is. That should be how it is. And like I said, I think they were trying to do that when he was part of the Hurt Syndicate. It just didn't. After that, just didn't pan out for whatever reason going on at the time where they had to like kick him out and all of that. Or either maybe he had like a character turn, like maybe MJF trying to be like, oh, I'm good now. Oh wait, they did. Never mind, bro. Chachos. Never mind. That fiasco.
But yeah, overall, I didn't really like the match. The pacing of the match was kind of it felt like, damn, like I felt like even though I'm not a fan of Jon Moxley, I think even the Jon Moxley versus Okada match should have been the main event.
Yeah, it was. It should have. Like I said, I even said I think if they did it better, even like I said, even the placement better would have been better. It would have been a better thing.
Yeah, no,
And how
I do kind of like MJF as the champ because that just blows up his ego times 100 just to see him be like, in control and overly arrogant and everything about it. But I just
Where
felt
did he
like,
go with that?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He already had his first reign. I don't know what they're gonna do this time to make it different from the first time, or what opponents are gonna come after
It's
him
not
or
like it's
something.
not like MJF has maybe like a mild personality. He just, well, I never thought I was with this, and then he becomes a heel, becomes arrogant because he's the champion.
Yeah.
Also,
but he's
here's
already has that ego.
here's the other thing people don't understand. Okay. You cannot make that kind of a character a good guy. Period. He could be likable, but he cannot be a good guy. It doesn't work. The character does not work as a good guy.
Shows.
And did that work?
At the Outback.
Did that work? That was one of the worst things they've ever done in the history of AEW. That stupid gimmick with them together.
Can't give him with that stupid kangaroo kick nonsense.
It harpooned Adam Cole through the dick in his career. Like he literally just destroyed any semblance of credibility he had. And did we also forget that he literally broke his leg doing a dumbass dive to save his friend?
Tried it, and that put him out for like the whole year.
That put him out for the whole year, and he needed full knee reconstruction because he had to rush out and save his friend and jumping off a scaffolding to save his friend. When in reality, all he did was jump off a scaffolding, run around the ring, and go, "Hey, boy, come on, go."
To be fair, even if he would have jumped off the scaffold to not save him, he probably still had the same outcome because it's like 20 pounds soaking wet.
Or need you also forget MJF being the world champion killed Jay White's career?
As a matter of fact, I was going to ask about that earlier, and I said, like, hold on for a second. I'm going to ask about Jay White because of the whole debate game versus FTR. I was like, I wonder how Jay White is doing.
But that's the thing. His career's never recovered since. MJF fucking ruined it. He ruined Adam Cole's career. He ruined Jay White's career. He made me hate AEW. I know it's not much of a difference, but still. Like, he made me actually hate it more than I ever would. Like, between Tony Khan and MJF, both of them can kiss my ass. So,
Oh boy.
I want...
Tell us how you
don't hold back. Tell us how to read it.
Yes, tell us how you really feel.
But truthfully, I'm like, it's going to be the same shit that he did last time. And the proof is in the pudding that he literally brought back the same dumbass belt he had that no one liked and pretended that they did, but no one did. And everyone even said it was the stupidest, ugliest looking fucking belt since the wooden belt that Bryan Danielson had.
Yeah, but these diagrams are thinking about the environment.
That's true. I love how that was a villain arc. I'm like, it's like, hey, recycle. It was like, fuck you, you piece of shit. I'm like, whoa, did y'all motherfuckers not watch Captain Planet? Holy shit.
He's part of our generation, so yes, he understands the importance of reduce, reuse, recycle, and Rockwell had a whole musical episode about it.
No, okay.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm done.
Anyway, so I think the show was kind of a clusterfuck in general, personally.
That's AEW though.
Yeah.
But more than it normally is.
If it's not, then something was done wrong.
True. It's like, I don't know. What did you guys think of the show overall?
Overall, it did feel a little lackluster to me. I think it could have been I don't know, like I said, like the Continental Classic championship situation. I wish it was done like New Japan. I mean, like the G1 and New Japan and all that stuff to make the Continental Classic seem like something of actual importance. And I think maybe I would enjoy it better because, like I said, I feel like we have our semifinals, then we have like 50 matches in between that. And then we get like the final and all that other stuff. If they were focusing the show on just the Continental instead of all this other stuff, it would have been fine. Or even if they want to do like their, like other matches or other title matches, put that in between, but make the Continental the final. And I think that might help just a little bit. But the whole idea of a crowning ceremony or either coming out and presenting the title or something to make it seem like it's something important. It just feels like a second, like an afterthought, just like Ring of Honor, CMLL, New Japan.
Oh, why didn't you like the Owen Hart one? No ceremony.
Yeah, because usually they have what's her name come out to present it, but the last time they did that, they didn't. She wasn't even there to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh well, you won it. Okay, good job, good for you.
Yeah,
So,
now get the fuck out.
yeah. All right, let's go home. It was like so weird. So yeah, I really wish they would set it up that way because even for those who don't watch New Japan, it's a nice introduction to how New Japan would do things, even if you don't know that New Japan does it that way, or for all of that stuff. So yeah, this pay-per-view was just kind of whatever. And actually, when my friends were leaving, I actually apologized to them. As they were leaving, no, I actually did. I don't know if you didn't catch it, but I was saying like, I'm sorry, this could have been more interesting. He said, no, we still have fun. I said, okay, but
Yeah, I mean, we all had fun.
I mean, in a general sense, yes, but I still felt like the show itself could have been better.
Well, they can't complain. They weren't the ones paying $50 for a pay-per-view. They just came and sit and eat.
Okay, there's that. They said want to do sukiyaki, and they said they'll chip in to pay for some of the ingredients if we ever do it.
Yeah, we'll just fly in Johnny. Because I know he don't want to miss that.
Oh, of course.
Johnny, your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Well, on the match.
I don't know. I felt like
He already did.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I felt like it was kind of like an average pay-per-view. It wasn't too long. I was surprised that the pay-per-view felt like much shorter than the other ones.
Yeah, they're probably missing 5 more matches or something.
Some of the matches were entertaining. But I felt like the pay-per-view as a whole was nothing really like to shout about. And especially that last match with MJF, I don't know. I think it just ruined the vibe overall. Like out of all the matches, I think that one really ruined the vibe. Like I couldn't wait for the match to be over.
I also kind of feel that the Willow versus Mercedes, with Willow actually winning the title off of her, that should have been a pay-per-view instead of an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what threw me.
No, that match I did like that one though. I did like that one, and I was actually surprised that Willow won the match because Mercedes is always winning all these matches all the time. I was actually surprised that she lost.
Yeah, but on Dynamite, because like on the pay-per-view, Mercedes challenged Willow for, Mercedes put her TBS championship on the line, and on this past Dynamite, she went against Willow and she lost to Willow, and Willow won it back off of her. So yeah, it seemed like that should have been on the pay-per-view, not an episode of Dynamite.
Oh, dude, that would have been like the best way to end it. With all the cheers and everything.
Yeah, but I guess he had to build that up, which means that that tag team match should have been on Dynamite, and Willow versus Mercedes should have been part of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Because, after all this stuff, having Sasha Sadie lose her actual,
Sasha Hogan.
Yeah. Having her lose the actual belt, the TBS belt, that should have been a pay-per-view event.
Mm-hmm.
Every here's the thing. What they should have done is that every belt was on the line at this show. So, like, other than the Continental Classic, so have the Continental Classic semifinal, match 1, match 2, that'll start the show. Then have the tag team titles, Ricochet's dumbass title, a separate match. Aside from the that's another thing I was going to say real quick. What I also don't understand. Okay, I don't watch AEW. Maybe y'all can explain it to me. what the fuck is the difference between, like, I'm talking about from the company's like what they do. What is the difference between the international, the continental, and the TNT titles?
Nothing. Just a person.
Oh, and the national title. Like those four. Like, what is the difference between each of them as far as a belt? Like, do they have like rules or regulations or something, or is it?
No, it's like I said earlier. Like I said, Tony Khan is the feminine version of Oprah.
So they really don't matter. That's what I thought was happening. Like I said, I figured that's what it was because, again, not to bring it back to New Japan, even to WWE, to that point of each belt is a representation of something different. So like the US is the mid card title for SmackDown. The Intercontinental is the mid card title for Raw. Cool. And then WWE World is Raw, WWE Champion, SmackDown / the whole company as a whole. But that's the whole thing, is like they have titles like that, but they each represent something. But if every belt is the same, it doesn't really fucking matter. Like, even in New Japan, or here, take Stardom, for example. Real quick. Stardom, for example. Stardom has the Future Stars title, which is only for rookies. The Future Stardom champion it's a little white belt, and you can only challenge for it or defend it or win it if you have been wrestling for less than 2 years. It's literally the belt for rookies. Then they have the High Speed title, which is a belt that is only defended due to with wrestlers who do high speed wrestling, which is quick paced, lightning. Each match in the high speed division is less than 10 minutes, and the actual belt itself can only be defended in less than 15 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering the speed aspect, it does play a factor. And then they have the Wonder of Stardom title, which is like, like their version of the Intercontinental, but it's seen as just as close to prestigious as the top prize, which is the World of Stardom title. But then you also have that, but that's the only world. The World of Stardom title is the world heavyweight title for Stardom. But then you have the IWGP belt, which is New Japan's, and the New Japan Strong Women's belt, which is also New Japan's. Those are both heavyweight belts recognized by Stardom, but not a part of Stardom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all of those belts are all equally seen as, and then there's the Goddess of Stardom tag team, but that's tag team, obviously. But those belts are representative of like different calibers of plateaus in the company. Like, you don't have to win the Future Stardom. You don't have to win the High Speed. You could just go after the Wonder of Stardom. But with the Wonder of Stardom, it can be anyone can challenge for it if they have earned enough matches to get a shot. With the World of Stardom, not anyone can challenge for it. You have to have a specific caliber of titles or matches or be in the main event picture to even be considered a challenger for that shit. So that's the way they should present titles. But if the title opportunities are just like, I want one, okay, like if you're treating a title like a free sample at Costco, it doesn't really fucking matter if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Oh God, bring the Boom title.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give Tony any ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just now you're bringing it up that way. It's only like the big one, like the world title. Then,
Like, okay,
the tag team titles, the
right.
pure title, that one has different rules. But everything else is just like you said, they're just titles.
Yeah, they're just tin. They're just tin. They're belts. They're not championships. They're just belts. And I'm like, okay, they're belt buckle. I like this belt buckle. Well, I like that belt buckle. That belt buckle's cooler than that belt buckle.
I think
I'm
in
like,
the women's side, having the regular women's title and the TBS title, it means more because it is only two, and it's not like,
Yeah. And then even like I said, like that's the whole point. Even look at how they in Ring of Honor, Athena is the top women's champion. There's only one other, there's the TV title, which is only defended in 10-minute intervals, and then there's the pure title, which is defended only under certain circumstances. So if you make little box criteria, like here's a good example. Let's take Ricochet's for example. His belt is the is the national title, right? That's what it is.
That's
the
what
national
it,
title.
yeah, that's what he has.
Okay. What if you made the national title? The condition is that you can only challenge it if you've never been a world champion.
Mm.
Like if you've never had a singles belt or a world championship aside from this belt, no one can challenge him. Like that, see, that's a criteria. It's weird, but it's an interesting criteria.
But AEW, that means he would have no opponents.
No. I'm saying like, no, I'm saying never had a world title.
Same thing. I know, but
Or like,
I get you mean. I get what you mean.
Or like in New Japan, they have I don't know if they still do it anymore. I think they discontinued it, but they had the KOPW championship, which was the King of Pro Wrestling belt. And the way that belt worked is, and it was more for fun for the fans, was the match had to be defended under stipulation. But what happened is the champion picked the stipulation, the contender picked the stipulation, and the fans voted on it. And it could be something as silly, it could be something as weird as I don't want ropes in my match, or the one that got the most votes, which was a dog cage match, which was literally a match where you had to incapacitate your opponent and throw him in a giant dog cage and lock the door, lock the gate. So it's like an ambulance, but it was a cage. I was like, okay, it's silly, but it's like fine.
In advance, because how do you, wrestling the stuff, how do you script around it without knowing what the stipulations are?
I guess the thing is, you have a script for both, and whichever gets chosen, that's the one you just go with.
Yeah, basically. They leave it up to the fans, and the fans get to decide what the stipulations is. They vote online, and then, like, that's what they did. Remember with that one pay-per-view they used to do where the fans got to vote on the opponent?
Mm.
They did the same thing where they had the option for each of them, like what Juby just said, like a script for, okay, well, what if they pick this guy? What if they pick this guy? We'll go with that.
It's sort of like how
so,
South Park. It's like how South Park would do episodes like when because they satire stuff that happens in real life. So sort of same thing like when there are elections, they always have two scripts written depending on who wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like what they did with the Batman comics, and they had a script where when they let the fans vote on who would.
Todd thing.
Yep, and they had a version where he lived, and yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Enough of my ranting. I know everyone loves my ranting, but enough of that. Anyway.
But that's the thing. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have your rants, because we do appreciate your rants because you always bring up some really good points.
I try.
But the thing about what you said about the belts is something interesting I didn't even think about. I never thought about like how it was in WWE when I used to regularly watch it. Usually there were like some kind of little stipulation, or it made the title reigns more interesting depending on who challenged for them.
Yeah,
the hardcore belt,
different things. It wasn't just here's extra belts.
The hardcore championship. The hardcore championship had some of the best, most entertaining matches.
I can imagine a crate coming in and Tony Khan's got a crowbar. Okay, guys, the next time the belts came in.
Yeah, and then we're gonna bring them up with a women's tag title, pure honor, ABCDEFG title. I don't know, because I've never seen a man that has an obsession with so many belts.
Oh, the Nickelodeon titles came in the mail.
Yeah, some of them are orange.
You get the merchandise belt. You get the merchandise belt. That's whoever sells the most merchandise wins. You have to go in the crowd and beat each other up and then throw out t-shirts. Whoever throws the most t-shirts and then pins their opponent gets a title.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
the belt has like on the things that has the the giant hand things people get in the crowd.
Yeah,
Those
little foam
foam
fingers. Has
Yeah.
little foam fingers, yeah, on the sides, like pointing down or pointing
Yeah.
at the belt.
And if I'm gonna get the AJ Boom title sooner or later, whenever Tony Khan feels stressed or anxious,
To
we
bring the
get him
boom
back.
title.
Well, to bring the Boom title and
Oh,
Big
God.
AJ with Fat Kid 1 and Fat Kid 2.
It'll be the equivalent of the FTW title, where it's mostly just them defending it or whatever.
I forget that was a thing. I kind of block out things that make that Ashley doesn't need to be remembered.
No, tag teams is a beautiful belt.
When Taz should have kept a big, beautiful belt at home because it's a shame that they couldn't do anything with it. Well, I guess we can wrap up now.
Yeah, we're basically wrapping up here at this point. Yeah, I guess maybe for me it was fun. I still liked it here and there, but I still feel that the Willow versus Mercedes, now knowing that she did actually, that's the thing, you're so used to, you're like, she's not gonna win. But knowing that she actually did win and get the title and stuff, that's
especially since she put the title on the line. She's the one that set that stipulation. She challenged her own belt to go against Willow. And like I said, I just said, okay, so you're gonna lose because it's gonna be on Dynamite, so you wouldn't expect Willow to win.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another reason. But either way, no matter how,
I think it did it because it was the last diamond of the year, so that's like the good note to end it. Because it was the main event of that particular show. The show ended with her with the belt and everyone else.
Yeah, confetti and all the conglomeration doing their friends
Doing
thing.
all the conglomeration.
Yeah, and I don't think Ishii was there. The potato wasn't there. So
He was too busy getting baked. But anyway,
that's what did up. Let's wrap it up for
yeah. You know what? Instead of lighting it up, he just fucking chops it and it lights itself up. He just chops the bong and it just lights itself up. But anyway, guys, Nick Rodriguez here for the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. Once again, guys, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're having trouble driving, if you're having the shakes and the deprivation and everything, be sure to watch the podcast. It'll knock you right out, especially when Jack starts his rant. But anyways, I'm signing off here, and with me are
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews, signing out.
Hello, this is Jimmy Channel. You call me Wendy. We will see you guys whenever. I don't know, but let's turn this over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that has the cool hat today.
Johnny Rodriguez.
Bye, guys.
all right. See you next time.